During your first few days on the job, you've created an extensive entry plan. Tell us, what's the purpose of an entry plan?
Well, if those of you who've seen my entry plan, or if you have a chance to read it, you'll see the starting paragraph quotes Plato and talks about, entry or the start of anything is extremely important. You have to look at, before you ever get into wanting to make sure you're going to actually be able to help and aid and be an impact in anything, you have to start well. We all know that from athletics to whatever endeavor we engage in, you have to start well. It's hard to finish well if you don't start well. And so this is an intentional effort on my part to start well by learning from you. I have to focus on learning this community from everyone who is engaged and involved in this community. And so this plan is, as you mentioned earlier, is my attempt to hit the ground learning. I love to learn. I love school. I think we as adults have to model lifelong learning for students and for our children. And so this is my attempt to build a learning plan so that I can share with the board what I, coming in as an outsider new to this community, have learned about this system, so that we all together can build on what we have been doing here in the community and continue to move it forward. So the plan is an attempt to be very deliberate about my actions and to be very open and transparent about what I plan to do as I get started here.
By the way, anyone's interested in reading the entry plan, we're going to have copies that will be available for you to pick up on your way out. Tell us, what are the core components of the entry plan?
Well, the first component that I've laid out is, and I kind of elaborated on this a little bit earlier, is building a relationship with the board. You all are blessed to have an exceptional Board of Education in this community, and it's my job to make sure that I'm a good part of that team, a contributing part of that team. And so I have to learn from the board because they're your representatives. They are the elected people who come forward to say this is what we want for our schools and for our children. So the first part is building relationships, and I could get into how we do that. It's very well detailed in the plan. But I have to build a deep relationship and a team relationship with the board. The second part of it gets into all of the other stakeholders and the constituencies here in the community, and making sure that I listen and learn from every single one of them, ones that I'm aware of, ones that I might not be aware of. And that has to be very intentful and very purposeful to make sure that I'm hearing what people have to say. Those of you who know me in this room know that that's probably not easy for me to sit back and listen. I have opinions about just about everything. My wife could tell you that. So I have to be intentful to listen and learn from all the different constituency and stakeholder groups. And it has to be very open, has to be very collaborative, and has to be very transparent. The third part, really gets into communication. One of the key roles that we all have within being leaders in our organizations and in the areas that we serve within the community is making sure we communicate well. And so it talks about in the plan how are we communicating as a school district and where can we make those improvements at, and how that can go both ways so that we're hearing from the community. And then the fourth part is a huge data analysis. Being an accountant by background, I am a numbers person. I love data. As a matter of fact, that when someone lays a spreadsheet in front of me, I actually get excited. Most people. So I've asked for a huge amount of data, internal data from our staff and our district, and reports that we generate within the district, as well as external data from agencies that we work with and collaborate with. Agencies such as those who we've just recognized. I want to hear and see data from all those sources. And all four of those components will be used for my learning, so that I'll be able to then build from that and share with the board, here is what I learned, and ultimately share back with the entire community, here's what I've learned about your school system and what we're doing for your kids.